Hello. You're now looking at the front of the Ram RV. Ram is a part of the Chrysler Corporation. And I'm taking you through the exterior features. The side mirrors that you're looking at right now are motorized, so they will fold in by pressing a button that's on the driver's side door. You see up above that there is a motorized awning that runs almost the whole length. The door opens, and we'll talk about these interior features in just a moment. You see there's a running board, again, across the entire length of the vehicle. You have exterior plug-ins here that are GFI protected. So for instance, if you want to run some exterior lights or an outside appliance, you can do that once you're plugged in, or not. Remember, because this also has a generator. Here on the back side, you can see that I have converted the bicycle carrier. It's a rack made by Thule, which is a famous, I think it's Swedish company. I've modified the rack so that you can carry a full-sized spare tire on this rack. Now, if you are interested in carrying your bicycles, I can, obviously I have all the parts and such. You can take the tire off, and I have another attachment which you can have, which fits onto this standard 2-inch receiver. And that other attachment, which I may be able to show you later on, allows you to carry the full-sized spare tire while you still have the ability to carry your bicycles. So then down below, you can see that there is a little cap. Perhaps you can see it. It's a little black cap. That's the outlet for your gray water, and I'll explain that later on. Both these doors obviously swing wide open, and I'll show you that when we do the interior. You have these little lights here. They're called puddle lights, so you light up the area around the tires. This is your city fill. So for instance, if you're at a campground and you have the ability to hook up a hose to a spigot there at the campground, then you don't have to use your onboard water. Your onboard water, there's a water tank, and behind this panel is the opening that you connect your garden hose to fill it up on your way, before you leave on your vacation. This is an outlet for the hot air that gets created when your gas-powered hot water heater works. And we'll get talking about that when we go inside. Sewer hose behind here is the hose that you would connect to that gray water spigot that I showed you earlier. Then we have this standard 30 amp connection for your electricity, which you'd have there at your campground. This is for a TV connection, standard cable TV. And this connector is for an external solar panel. Because if you look upstairs, you'll see on the far right, you have a 200 watt solar panel. And then you have the Coleman air conditioner. And then next to that is called Wine Guard. That's sort of a solar, it's not solar, I'm sorry, a satellite receiving system that I've never used. And then in front of that is a special exhaust fan system that's probably one of the best on the market. So now we're back into the front of the, well, let's go. I've got a couple more things to point out down here. This pipe is actually the exhaust for your generator. Low point drain, that's something you need in the fall when you're shutting down the system and you want to get rid of all the water in your system so that there's no chance of water freezing inside. And this last area here is where, when you need to refill your propane tank, they've created their own propane tank system. So it's not like those ones that you have on your barbecue. And it's equivalent of 2 of those barbecue propane tanks. And this is where you go and have the propane refill system with hookup after you remove this, and they hook it up there. So again, rear view mirror, and again I think you can see that the tires are in perfect condition, plenty of tread left on them. You'll notice here that on these windows, left, driver, passenger, and the windshield, I have the windshield cover so that the interior doesn't get hot while it's sitting out here.